Nina had been married to Mark for 6 years. They weren't perfect, but they were comfortable, steady. They shared a small house just outside the city, filled with quiet rituals, morning coffee, Friday movie nights, and unspoken compromises. He'd just come back from overseas and needed a place to settle while sorting out business. Mark, ever generous, welcomed him in like a brother. Then James moved in next door. He was Mark's childhood friend, a charming, well-dressed man with a voice like velvet and a grin that lingered too long. Too loud, too confident, too curious. But over time, those very things started to draw her in. At first, Nina found James irritating. He'd ask her things Mark never did anymore. He noticed when she cut her hair. He laughed at her dry jokes. One night it happened. James lit a cigarette and acted like it was nothing, but to Nina, it was everything. James knocked gently on her door with a glass of wine and a look she didn't know how to answer. There were no candles, no music, just lightning outside and heavy breathing inside. When Mark would work late, James would linger in the kitchen, on the porch, in her conversations. He noticed the way her eyes drifted when James entered the room, how she flinched at small questions, the way silence now hung between them like a third person at the table. Sometimes, when the rain falls hard, Nina stares at the window and wonders how many lives can be ruined by one night. It was raining hard. Mark had been called for an overnight work trip. He built a wall around his heart that Nina could never get through again. If you enjoyed this story, please share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for more content. When it was over, Nina sat at the edge of the bed, shaking. The guilt. She tried to carry on like nothing had happened, but Mark knew her too well. A month later, Mark confronted her. She denied it at first, then cried, then confessed. He simply said, "You gave away what we spent years building for what? A moment." But Mark didn't yell. He didn't cry. James was gone by morning. He left without a word, like a thief in the night. Maybe he had done this before. Nina stayed. Mark didn't kick her out, but he stopped calling her babe. He stopped making coffee in the morning. The ending years later, they still live in the same house. Technically still married, but strangers now. She loved her husband, but she can never unbreak the moment she broke them. Thank you so much for watching.